Well, hello, good morning from Japan. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation. It's an exercise that I do each and every morning, a little bit after waking up. It's now 5:01 a.m. I do this to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use this time to think about yesterday and last night, how I did with the challenges and the opportunities that I met. And I just realized I used to say, including my sleep, but I don't say that anymore because I sleep well every night. Wow, that's a big change. Ever since I retired, I don't have bad nights anymore. That's noteworthy. Maybe I'll try to remember to circle back to that. Anyway, I also use this time to go over the 8 objectives of my creed and to plan for the coming day. Now, I'm going handicapped today, so to speak, because I don't have my notebook. I forgot it. I left it at home, so I'm just doing everything off of memory. So forgive me while I scramble a little bit. Usually I have a notebook to guide me through things like this, but I can do without it. Let's see. So, and also before I get started, let me say welcome to new YouTube subscribers. It's good to have you here. Also, a little note that although this video is being made in Japan live here at a mini stop convenience store, it says mini stop right over my shoulder. This is not about Japan, other than the incidental fact that I'm in Japan and some of the things I'll share here might relate to Japan. This is a personal journal that I write that I happen to do with the book open for anyone to watch if you like. So you're welcome to join me. You're not intruding in any way. You can stay strictly anonymous and just listen to me talk if you want. Or you can leave a comment. If you leave a comment, please know that I don't read or respond to comments until I'm done. All right. So there's also I do want to say, caution you that I do sometimes talk about subjects that make people uncomfortable. For example, death comes up a lot in these videos, so just be warned about that. And finally, before I get started in earnest, a big thank you to my YouTube viewers, my Patreon members, and my Patreon folks, my YouTube members. You bought me this cup of coffee this morning. Your support by watching my videos and direct contributions fuel my YouTube adventures, so to speak, in Japan. Although I haven't done any real adventures in earnest other than the simple activity of retiring, which is proving to be a more significant adventure than I had ever imagined. So one more thing I had before I get started, though. I do want to point out that for the new YouTube viewers, you can expect at least two videos a day out of me. One in the morning Japan time, this video called The Good Life, which is my daily reflection video. And you can always pick it out because it always has my mug on the cover, and then it says The Good Life. So if this isn't your cup of tea, you know how to avoid it. The other video, again, is a daily upload. Typically at the other end of the day is my Retiring in Japan series, which is a day-by-day journal of the experience of retiring in Japan, of all places. So with that, let's get going. I'm going to do 3 things now. I'm going to talk about the last 24 hours, review the challenges and the opportunities that I met. I'll recite my creed, the eight objectives at least, although I may sprinkle a few principles in once in a while. If you hear me do like hashtag and then some strange word like homunculus, I'm referring to the principles of my creed. So if I say, oh, I had this one thing that happened, hashtag Anchorhold, I was able to do this. I'm saying, referring to the principle Anchorhold, I was able to refer to that principle while in the moment, and it helped me along in some way. That's what's going on there. And then the third thing I do before I wrap up is I'll plan for the coming day. But like I said, I don't have my notes. I didn't take any notes. I didn't write down my plan for the day, but I know what it is. So let's go. First, last night and yesterday. No, last night. Yes, last night was great. Coming back to that, I promised I would. I used to, if you go back like a year on these videos, you'll see me frequently talking about my horrible nights of sleep how I couldn't sleep, and tossing and turning, and stress and anxiety. And even if you go back far enough, about maybe 6 years, you'll hear me talk about panic attacks. And I don't have that problem anymore. And it's clear to me that it was my job that was the problem. And if any of my employers happen to see this, and I know that I know I have coworkers in my viewership, please know that I don't attribute that necessarily to any of you personally, or the job. It was just that it was the nature of the job. I was an IT project manager working on large projects that were very complicated with lots of moving parts and very difficult. I had a very stressful job. That's nobody's fault, other than the fact of it's nobody's fault. It's just the way the nature of the work. That's what I signed up for. It's why I went back to America. It's why I left Japan. I had a very safe and settled and comfortable life here. No, I forgot to do that. For you new subscribers, quick bio. Kurt Bell, 60-year-old retired IT project manager, married to a 60-year-old Japanese woman. She's retired too. We have a 24-year-old daughter. Our daughter lives in Tokyo. We're going to go see her today. And we split her childhood between America and Japan. We raised her up until she was 13 or 14 in Japan, and then we took her to America, where she finished high school, did high school and university. In 2024, we all came back to Japan. Emily, our daughter, to start her life in Tokyo. Yumiko and I to retire and settle and buy a house here in Shizuoka, Japan. There you go. There's my introduction. So when I was living in Japan before, I desperately wanted to leave Japan because Japan didn't challenge me enough. And I knew that, and I couldn't support my family well here. So I went back to America to be challenged and to have an opportunity to support my family well, which came at a grave price, my stress. You can see all this wear look at my face. That career took 5, maybe more years out of my life, but it was worth it because I was able to fulfill the mandate that I felt driven to do inside. So now I'm back in Japan, and I'm no longer haunted by those ghosts of feeling like I wasn't living up to my potential when I was living in Japan before, which I certainly was not. I wasn't. That's just a fact. And I went back to America, and I rose to the bait of what I considered to be the better life. What defines the better life, Kurt? The life, money. The life of being able to afford to send my daughter to university, to be able to afford to live at least decently, and to be able to afford to one day retire. And that's what life in America was able to facilitate. So that came at the great price of my stress. It killed me living in America. The last 10 years were really hard, and I couldn't sleep at night, and I had panic attacks, and it was terrible at times. I don't have that anymore. Now I'm on the other side. I managed to survive. I'm lucky that I survived and came out the other side. So that's a long-winded way, and it's interesting me to note it. It's a long-winded way for me to observe that it was America and life. It wasn't America. It was my career in America that was the culprit all along, and I'm grateful for that. And so I don't mind. But I'm glad I don't have to live like that anymore. Screw that. No, that came out wrong. If I could go back in the Wayback Machine and choose again, I would do the same damn thing again. Same damn thing again. I wouldn't change a step of it. It was absolutely the right thing to do, even though it was so painful. So anyway, I don't talk about my nights anymore because I sleep sound every night. Lucky me. So let's talk about the day then. So what happened in the last 24 hours that was challenging? Well, if you watched this video yesterday, I told you about a technical, I broke something in our financial pipeline from America to Japan, and I haven't been able to fix it yet. So that's still bothering me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix it. The impact that would have is that could interrupt the flow of funds. There's workarounds. I can work around this. But damn it, I worked so hard to get that set up, and now it's broken. Damn it. And that's what happens. That emotion that's rising right now is exactly the thing that keeps happening. I'll be like, with my wife doing something, and I'll remember, I haven't fixed this thing yet, damn it, and it rises. And that's a human response. So I'm all right with that. And it's okay even if that comes up in front of my wife, because she needs to know about the frustrating thing that affects both of us. And sometimes her good advice is very helpful to me in those regards. So I haven't fixed that thing yet. That's still a challenge. It's on my mind. A lot. So how can I do what I'm going to do today without that interfering? Well, I need to compartmentalize that concern and put it somewhere else in my mind, because I have a big day ahead of me. I'm jumping ahead of myself. We're with the dogs. My wife and I are driving up to Tokyo today to spend the day with our daughter. So I need to compartmentalize it. I don't need that thought, rising to the surface when I'm out with my family today, because I'm not going to fix it today, and it's going to do me no good to have that thought there. So I will use hashtag temperance to control the emotion. I will use hashtag limits, the principle of true limits and true opportunity, to recognize that I don't have a true limit is that I cannot fix this problem when I am out in Tokyo with my family. So that's a true limit. I'm not going to solve it, and thinking about it then is only going to distract me from my family. The opportunity I have, hashtag limits again, because limits covers both opportunity and limits. Hashtag limits for the opportunity part is that I have the opportunity to make a nice, worthwhile day with my family if I can control the arrival of that thought. So I'm truly going to compartmentalize that thought away and let that happen. And then I'm going to hashtag social principle, focus on my family. That's the plan. Okay, so there was some good news yesterday, but I don't need to cover that because it didn't challenge me. We had some good news with the contractor yesterday, but that was the big event from yesterday, but nothing happened there that challenged me, so I don't need to talk about that now. What I'm looking for is the things yesterday that were hard, the things that got in the way of living a virtuous life, where virtue is defined as spending my time well and in pursuit of the improvement of the well-being of thinking creatures. Basically living a life that helps to reduce pain in the world. And so good news from the contractor was just good news from the contractor. Was there anything else yesterday? It's like I don't have my notes. Usually during the day I keep notes of what happened, so then the following morning I can reflect on that, and I didn't yesterday. That's it. So I'll say that was it. The one thing is that I haven't been able to solve that problem yet. So yeah. Okay, so compartmentalizing that aside, let's go on to part 2, which is going over the 8 objectives of my creed, which are as follows. Number 1, and these are ordered in basically, I have arranged these in order of importance, and there it is again. I just had time out. So I have I still have the calendar from my last job on my phone, and it sends up notices, and I just got a notice that in 15 minutes starts a meeting that I would usually be involved in this. And every time that pops up, I kind of haven't deleted the calendar because I kind of enjoy the haunting ghost of my old life popping up, like this meeting that I can see on the screen right now. I'm gonna make it go away. And I know what's gonna happen in 15, I know what's happening right now. All of the team members, of which I used to be a part, are assembling and getting ready for the meeting. And it's sobering for me now to be here and not there doing that, right? And not feeling the stress of that. Anyway, so the 8 objectives are the guideposts that I use. It's where I'm headed. It's how I'm going to live my life, the things I want to do in my life. And they're ordered in terms of not only their importance, but they unfold in a way. For example, number 1 is to be always ready to die. That means I need to have my affairs in order, my relationship sound, and my life's work in a steady state or complete. Number 2 is to make good and effective use of time. So doing number 2 relates closely to number 1, because if I'm making good use of my time, then I am engaging in behaviors that will prepare me for death. 3 is to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, namely to maintain my creed, the 8 objectives and 35 principles, so that my operating system, my it's not an epistemology, it's a toolkit, is in good shape. Number 4 is to cultivate good emotional reactions, like I was talking about earlier, so that I'm not letting my emotions control me as much as I am using my emotions and my emotional reactions as I'm using my emotions as guides to the inner state of my life and to how I'm engaging with the world at large, and then I husband and control my emotional reactions so that I behave in a manner that is seemly for a man my age, right? Like I said earlier, managing the emotions of my frustration regarding the thing that I broke so that I'm not distracted by that during my outing with my family today. Number 5 is to cultivate good to perform good actions relative to my creed. Number 6 is to recognize my true limits and true opportunities so that I'm reaching for things within my grasp and not worrying about things that are beyond my reach. Number 7 is to do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly, deliberately, and carefully. And number 8 is to maintain my balance in both body and mind, so that I am living in, what would be the word? A life of equanimity is it's not a word, but it's a phrase. Yeah. So that's what I'm after today. So question to myself, number 1, am I prepared to die today? Are my affairs in order? No, they're not, because I have this broken thing. I gotta fix this. I don't know how to fix it. And no, my affairs are not in order until I can fix this thing. So no, I'm not ready to die today. That's a bothersome thing to think about. That's going to be on my mind, because usually my days are more relaxed by virtue of the fact that every morning I address the question, am I ready to die? And nearly always the answer is yes, because my affairs are usually in order, my relationships are sound, and my life's work is certainly complete. My life's work being the raising of my daughter, the completion of my career, and the writing of my book, Going Alone. But now I've got this one thing. I got to fix this broken thing. Well, why is that a big deal? Well, because it's a big deal because if I died today, I've set up everything in life in our financial side so that my wife is taken care of for the rest of her life should I die. This could impact that. It's not insurmountable. She could overcome it the same way I could, but it's going to be a lot of headache for her to figure it out. Just like it's a lot of headache for me. And there are workarounds to get around it, but I need to fix this. But I'm not going to spend my day thinking about it today. I'm going to put this issue on, not even on the back burner. I'm going to take it off the oven, off the stove altogether, and put it down below, and I'll deal with this tomorrow. It's nothing that needs to, so I won't be ready to die today. No, okay, I'm not ready to die today. Darn it, better not die today. Okay, now last thing I'm going to do is go over the plan for today. It's real simple. Like I said, we're going to drive up to Tokyo today with our 2 dogs and spend the day with our daughter. We're going to go to a flea market. Emily's into flea markets just like us, so it was her idea. She invited us to come, so we're going to go up and spend the day with Emily. We'll drive up, and we'll drive back, and we're taking the dogs. So, what challenges might I encounter along the way? Well, my driving fatigue will certainly be an issue. My backup, of course, is to ask my wife to drive. I'll drink coffee. I got a good night's sleep last night. It's the best I can do, right? What else might come up? Well, the dogs are a handful, especially Rudy, so they might be difficult, but not really. It'll be a little bit of a challenge to get lunch together with the dogs, but we'll figure it out. nothing today is beyond the scope of capability. Hashtag limits, right? Nothing today will happen that's beyond the limits of our ability to manage. With that, I'll go ahead and call this quits for today. I'll read the comments and then I'll be heading off to do it. Let's see. Erica. Hi, Erica. Hi, Kurt. Hi there, Erica. Mir. Hello, I am Iranian. I live in Tehran. Tell Trump not to attack Iran. Okay, well, nice. Hello, Amir. I love the Persian culture, and I would someday hope that I could come see some of the wonderful culture there and the archaeology, etc. Sergey, hey, what's going on? Hi, Sergey. Kyle Blaha, I haven't seen you for a while. I think I remember you from before. Have fun at the flea market. Is it the big one at the racetrack, or is that only on the weekends? I don't know where it is. I think it's somewhere in Yokohama. Emily's our tour guide, so she'll usher us along with the dogs. It's a flea market that accepts dogs. All right, well, I'll sign off for now. Thank you for joining me today. As always, I wish you all the best. Thank you, and welcome again, new subscribers to the channel. It's great to have you here. Tell Yumiko I said hi. Now go take on the day. Glenn Peck. Oh my gosh. Hi, Glenn. Look at there's an old friend of mine from way back in the day. Glenn, it's really great to see you. I'm sorry, I'm just catching me as I'm signing off. Yumiko and I are heading to Tokyo. We're driving to Tokyo today to meet Emily, and we're going to go do some flea marketing. And Glenn, if you and Corey ever find yourself in Japan, come on by. We'd love to see you, okay? All right. Have a great day, everybody. Hey, there's Andy. Hi, Andy. Timothy L. Kirks. Look forward to more videos. Thank you, Timothy. I appreciate the support. Wish you all the best, everybody. Take care. Be safe, but not too safe.